Synergies between sea basin strategies is our focus today. And we have some great panelists to delve into this topic. So please do come forward, fill up the seats. This will be a great session. I hope you had a great time in your workshops, delving down into a lot of the issues we're looking at. So this really, as I say, this is our focus on synergies between sea basin strategies. And obviously a lot of referral to the Greater North Sea Basin Initiative, a big part of the proceedings here for this conference. So thank you very much. Obviously we're going to be looking at the success stories, how we're getting mutual cooperation, both political and technical when it comes to all of this. Maritime regional cooperation. We've talked this morning about innovation, about being competitive, and it's how to get that cooperation when it comes to the different sea basins. And we're also going to be looking forward, putting on the magnifying glass, maybe the crystal ball. How can we look forward to strengthen the future strategies, really to make sure that we have a successful ocean pact in the future going forward. So lots to drill down into. What I would like to do is to call on the Deputy Director-General at DGAMPA, Kestutis Sadauskas, for some opening remarks, a bit of context, Kestutis, for the beginning of the session. Thank you very much. A warm welcome.
Good morning. Thank you, Seamus. You've been missed in the previous workshop. I can testify, so it's very good to get you back. And also, thanks, colleagues, for coming back also from the break and from wherever you were. This is an important topic because sea basin strategies are, I would say, no-brainer, pretty simple tool, but when you look deeper, you find interesting things here. We're all here because we share that commitment to the sustainable blue economy in Europe, and of course Europe has everything it needs to thrive in this sector, and with its diverse ecosystems, activities and rich cultural heritage, that we have plenty of challenges. And of course the list is quite long, because we can talk about the climate, biodiversity, security, skills, knowledge, funding, competitiveness, space, fish, aquaculture, you name it. There are so many things. In fact, there's just as many as there are on land that affect the ocean and where the human activity has encroached upon, and where we need to be smart about how we manage that. And looking at how to manage that, our sea basin strategies here are quite central, because coordination and cooperation lie at the heart of these strategies. They reflect exactly what our stakeholders have consistently called for. We made a commitment in 21 to support cooperation and develop tailored strategies to each European sea basin, and to extend that approach, and that's very important, to neighboring countries. Today, I'm pleased to share with you that in our assessment, our sea basin strategies have delivered on that promise. Let's take very concrete examples. The WestMED initiative, which has made quite a remarkable progress. Under the Portuguese-Tunisian Co-Presidency, technical groups have advanced on sustainable aquaculture, promoted green shipping, and most recently, sustainable coastal and maritime tourism. The initiative encourages dialogue and knowledge sharing, but it also fosters a sense of ownership and cooperation among European Union and non-European Union countries in Western Mediterranean. And just 2 years ago, a ministerial declaration was adopted in Malta, reaffirming the strong commitment of many countries to the sustainable blue economy. We have also seen a progress in another strategy, the Atlantic region. That's where we are today. In October 23, a new ministerial declaration was also adopted for the Atlantic strategy in Portugal, and with decarbonization and deployment of offshore renewables at the very focus and the center. And of course, we're here today in Ireland, a country that is deeply rooted in maritime tradition, known for its forward-thinking approach, and building on this momentum, Ireland and other Atlantic countries are really sharing knowledge, innovating, developing new technologies for vessels, for port infrastructure, and all aligned with our energy transition objectives. These objectives extend beyond benefiting European Union. They also support our neighboring countries. And now let's shift our focus to common maritime agenda for the Black Sea. This initiative has made significant progress despite the challenges, despite that dire situation posed by the Russian war of aggression against Ukraine. And I'd like to acknowledge very much, in particular, the Ukrainian presidency, represented here today for their important work on this agenda. The common maritime agenda of the Black Sea has set ambitious roadmap for this year, focusing on raising awareness, addressing the environmental impact of the ongoing war on the sea basin and its coastal communities. And it will also promote funding opportunities for the sustainable blue economy. The numbers, they speak for themselves. Since 2019, our sea basin strategies have supported hundreds of actions and projects, attracting millions of euros of investment from European Union, national and private sources, and it's brought hundreds, thousands of people together to work for the common good. More recently, we have seen investments in innovative startups and high-tech companies, often in partnership with Blue Invest, and we are also working closely with the Mission Ocean Basin scale lighthouses to turn research and innovation into concrete, good, tangible results. Another aspect of our sea basins is their power to really bring people together. And that's precisely the energy and the fruitful discussions of these annual events that move the strategies forward and produce all these results. We are living, again, in a time of change. It's been said so many times, it probably would be an understatement of the day to say that we see the geopolitical instability, all the moving alliances, shifting alliances, tectonic changes, assertive trading practices, security threats that affect our economies and our communities. And that's exactly what pushes people together, to cooperate, to collaborate, to do things together rather than separately. We're seeing progress in regional cooperation in Europe. Countries are working together more closely, not less. Our sea basin strategies have been a success story, and they continue to expand. We recently welcomed a new initiative in the Greater North Sea Basin, which aims to strengthen cooperation on maritime spatial planning in a very innovative, very interesting way. This initiative brings together many European Union countries, as well as other countries like United Kingdom and Norway, and we fully support this initiative, I can assure you. Today, and here at the European Maritime Days, we are excited about the imminent launch of the European Pact. We, just like yourselves, are waiting for that launch, for the reveal, as the final touches are being put on it. On the basis also of the feedback that we're getting in the Maritime Days, the Pact will bring together all our ocean-related policies, creating a cohesive and sustainable approach. And our sea basin strategies are really the ideal platform for implementing the Ocean Pact. They have already shown that regional cooperation can drive progress on innovation, on connectivity, on sustainable energy, and now it's really the time to take that cooperation at the next level. We will draw lessons that we have learned and refine our approach. We will strengthen our sea basin strategies and forge stronger links with other European initiatives like micro-regional strategies or the aforementioned Mission Ocean. By working together, we can address the maritime spatial planning, we can share best practices, we can scale up successful examples across the regions and sea basins, even though all the sea basins are very unique, very specific, very special, and just as Europe is. Our sea basin strategies should also help shape broader EU initiatives, such as new strategic approach to the Black Sea and to the future pact for the Mediterranean. And Seamus, yesterday, you have been handing out the magic wands to all the participants in the panels, asking for this one thing that can really move that needle. And, well, the magic wand for this session is the regional strategy, and probably even much beyond that, because, again, as I say, it's no-brainer. It's pretty simple, it's not hardcore, it's soft thing, but it just brings people together because we know that you can't do things alone, you can't fix things alone, only by doing things together, which in a way that is adapted to a specificity of that specific sea basin, you move forward. So for me, the answer to the magic wand is pretty clear, but let's see what the participants will say about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kestutis. And yes, as we said in the beginning, we're looking at these success stories. What's working, but also what's not working, what we can improve on. Looking at the importance of maritime regional cooperation and our third focus also trying to look forward. How can we strengthen those strategies? And isn't it great to be now deep diving into some other sea basins as well to get a feel for the different temperatures, if you like, of the water in the other sea basins. What I'd like to do is just to now call on our panelists, and I'd like to start with France. From the Directorate-General for Maritime Affairs in France, we have Elsa Tudal, Project Director in charge of transversal management of European and international policy. It's all in the title, isn't it, Elsa? Thank you very much. Great to have you with us. We also have from Portugal, Pedro Goncalves, Director of Strategy at the Directorate-General for Maritime Affairs, Portugal, for the WestMED Co-Presidency. Also, just note for France, it's for the Greater North Sea Basin Initiative, Co-Presidency, so thank you very much. Pedro, thank you very much. A warm welcome for both of these participants. And of course, from Ireland, we have somebody from Ireland, of course, hosting this conference. Philip Nugent, Director-General for Maritime Affairs at the Department of the Environment, Climate and Communications, Ireland, for the Atlantic Sea Basin Strategy Presidency. Welcome. And last but not least, from Ukraine, we have Hryhorii Mozolevych, Director-General of Science Development, Directorate of the Ministry of Education and Science, Ukraine, and for the presidency of the Common Maritime Agenda for the Black Sea. And we just talked about the Black Sea, so a very warm welcome. So, welcome to all of you, and as I said, we have three focus areas, and we're going to actually divide it up into three focus areas, so we don't get lost on this, because it's true we're talking about different initiatives, co-presidencies and presidencies. So what we wanted to do was actually to start with the very first question about how your strategies that you represent, the initiatives, how this is fostering cooperation when it comes to the other sea basin strategies. We can also talk about the benefits. What's been achieved with this collaboration, with the cooperation on these levels? And actually, maybe we can begin with Ireland. Philip, we can ask this question of you first of all. So the strategy that you represent, what are we achieving, Philip? And the microphone as well, yes, please.
Would be useful. Welcome to European Cork Day, which is what it now feels like, after so many references to where we are. But anyway, that aside, we're really strong supporters of the Sea Basin Strategy approach, and we've benefited very significantly from it. We are, compared to our EU counterparts, we're at a much earlier stage, generally speaking, in our marine planning cycles. So our involvement in the Atlantic Sea Basin Strategy and also in the Greater North Sea Basin Initiative has been hugely beneficial to give us a sense of how other member states are tackling challenges that we have faced ourselves. So we're really strong supporters of that kind of strategic approach, and we really welcome the momentum behind it, particularly the revitalised Atlantic Action Plan 2.0. We see this as a kind of a vital tool for blue economic development and for climate resilience. But we see sea basin strategies as having an increasingly important role to play in delivering on the EU Ocean Pact, which Kestutis mentioned and has been so much discussed over recent days, and rightly so, when we're really looking forward to the launch in Nice next month. And that's really aligned with the priorities of our Atlantic Strategy Presidency, to look again at the action plan and with partners consider whether it needs to be adjusted or developed. We've been really active partners in the Atlantic Strategy since its inception, and for us as a collaborative platform, it helps unlock the potential of our shared open spaces across the pillars of the strategy. And as I said, it's really assisted with our implementation of our National Marine Planning Framework, where we've learned so much from our partners and colleagues.
Okay, Philip, thanks very much. Let's go across to Portugal. So the same question to you, Pedro. So your strategy, how is that fostering this cooperation that we're all looking for?
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, sorry, to all. Thank you very much, Seamus, for the question.
Morning, yes.
Yes, good morning. And let me congratulate the Irish organization for this beautiful event. Congratulations. It's a great honor for me and for Portugal to participate in this panel on behalf of the Portuguese Directorate-General for Maritime Policy in the context of our co-presidency of the WestMED initiative, which we share this year with Tunisia and previously with Mauritania. Regarding your question, the WestMED initiative has been a concrete example of how cooperation between sea basins can be fostered, both political and technical. In line with the 2023 Malta ministerial declaration, Portugal has actively promoted synergies with the Atlantic strategy and with the common maritime agenda for the Black Sea through participation in events like this one, in the European Maritime Day, the Atlantic Platform Stakeholders Conference and the Third Black Sea Steering Committee. At the technical level, we can highlight the creation of the new thematic group on sustainable coastal tourism, led by two national hubs from Spain and Malta, and the success of the WestMED Hackathon, held in Algarve last year, a region in the south of Portugal, which brought together stakeholders from different sea basins to co-create innovative blue economy solutions. In short, Portugal has also promoted digital and interregional cooperation, as we demonstrated by a national event organized by our national hub, the Digital Transformation and the Sustainable Blue Economy event, which reinforced the articulation between the Atlantic strategy and the WestMED initiative.
Okay, Pedro, thanks very much. For the presidency of the Common Maritime Agenda for the Black Sea, very happy to have Ukraine here with us. Hryhorii, so this same question to you. What's working at sea on the ground for you?
Ladies and gentlemen, dear partners, dear colleagues, I'm great honored for me represent in this whole Common Maritime Agenda in the Black Sea. Now I represent Ukraine, the country which now chairs in the CMA. In my remarks, I will highlight how this strategy has built strong cooperation with other sea basin initiatives and how it supports European Union objectives. Some facts about CMA and Black Sea region for now. As you understand, only 6 of 7 riparian countries will have a cooperation without Russian Federation. Now near half of the Black Sea is a military zone without navigation, economic activity, and we have many other problems. Environmental challenges such as rising of the oxygen free level of the Black Sea, new types of pollutions and others. In this situation, we need a strong cooperation and joint activity to the challenges and best experience of the other sea basins. The period exchange through the steering committees of other sea basins allows the Black Sea to not only observe but actively contribute of the development and share its value. It's a two-way exchange. We bring our strong challenges and experience to our partners and learning the best practices. In addition, cross-basin collaboration through thematic groups is very important for for example, our sustainable aquaculture technical group have good cooperation with WestMED. We have a result in practical exchanges from governments models to sustainable business practices for now. This collaboration are not symbolic. They have real operational value. This example will be using also in our new initiative, Technical Group for Coastal Tourism. As a result is a stronger collective capacity sea basin of Europe. We work together with actual challenges like marine pollution, economic transition, and consequences of the war caused by Russian aggression with a united front.
Okay, Grigory, thanks very much. And of course, we're all aware of the very, very big challenges for Ukraine, and to know that the initiatives continue and that we have the strategies in place, work still going on. That's great to hear. Thank you very much. And let's go to France, to Elsa, and a newly established initiative. What steps is France taking when it comes to establishing this very important cooperation in the Greater North Sea? Lessons learned, even though it's early days, Elsa?
I hope we will have some lessons to learn, because it is a very new initiative. It's a North Sea Basin, created just 2-3 years ago. But we are very proud to share the presidency with Netherlands and Belgium. And today we've got 9 country partners, EU and non-EU countries as UK and Norway. In the last ministerial conference in November 2024, we agreed on a work program for 26 and 27, and also about the governance structure. What we are trying to target and to focus on is to deal on a kind of lab test and to see the strategy in the North Sea Basin as a lab, to explore how we could share from each country, each neighborhood country, how we could share our vision integrated about all the maritime policy, trying to have something very transversal, integrated, holistic, how we can share our national vision and to find some common point to deliver. And we are in this region on the North Sea. We've got, as my colleagues say, and I understand that in all the region in the same stakes, we've got very big pressure, environmental one, strategic one, economical one. Very big issue of how we can share our maritime territory. And I think and within our regional strategy, we can find a very pertinent opportunity of a kind of forum to discuss, to share our vision, and to stick to an holistic approach as the European Commission helped to make it in place at the European level.
Great, Elsa, thanks very much. Let's turn our attention to our second focus area, which is the role of the 4 sea basin strategies, so all of your strategies, in delivering, supporting blue economy developments. Crucial part of our work. And what I'd like to do is maybe to come to Portugal next on this question. So it's also about, bringing in the broader EU initiatives into the strategy. So how are we managing to make sure that we're supporting the implementation of strategies on the European Union level and with your local strategies? Pedro, this question to you, and even some examples of where the blue economy is benefiting from that. Pedro.
Thank you, Seamus. In our point of view, the WestMED initiative has been a key instrument in implementing broader European Union priorities, such as the European Green Deal, the digital transition, and the EU skills agenda. Through its governance model and structure and technical groups, the initiative helps translate European Union policies into regional action, tailored to the realities of the Western Mediterranean. For example, when we talk about examples, WestMed contributes to the Green Deal through concrete actions in maritime decarbonization, green ports, and blue energy, in coordination with other sea basin strategies like the Atlantic Strategy. We have more examples. One example is the WestMED hackathon held in Algarve, as I said, which brought together young entrepreneurs, researchers and companies from different countries to develop innovative blue economy solutions. And these kind of examples fostered collaborative innovation, knowledge transfer and regional competitiveness. Another example is the new thematic group on sustainable coastal tourism, which is developing innovative approaches for a vital sector in the region, with a focus on sustainability, digitalization and inclusion. In short, I think that these examples show how WestMED acts as a platform for innovation and cooperation aligned with the EU's long-term ocean goals.
Okay, Pedro, because we're looking at driving innovation, aren't we? Competitiveness, the other word that we've heard a lot this morning, also yesterday, and sharing the knowledge, making sure that we've got the expertise on the ground and on the water. Let's go to Ukraine on that question. So integrating a lot of the policy tools from the European Union, Hryhorii, for Ukraine, and maybe some examples already where that may be working?
Yes, the CMA plays an important role in supporting broader, more European Union initiatives. As a European Green Deal, as a Sustainable Blue Economy Strategy, European Union missions restore our ocean and waters. Now, our thematic groups is effective instruments for knowledge sharing. The united public authorities, researchers, representative of business, SMEs, across borders. This group is a way to support European Union objectives, including the circular economy, digital transformation, and marine ecosystem restoration. For example, in aquaculture, we facilitated innovation by promoting low-impact farming techniques and connecting SMEs with research institutions. Importantly, our strategy has also adapted to urgent environmental challenges. A clear case is our initiative, CMA Roundtable on War-related Pollution in the Black Sea, happening in 6th of June. The Russian war of aggression against Ukraine has caused serious environmental damage in the region, prompting the issues to be integrated into the CMA's work plan under Ukrainian coordination. This roundtable will unite together regional and European actors, including European Maritime Safety Agency, Helsinki Commission, to assess the impact of war on marine ecosystem, navigation, the relevant pollution. It will highlight key findings from projects like Response, EU for Ambless and Black Sea Sierra, and stress the urgent need for mind mapping, for improved monitoring and data sharing. So I invite everybody of you at this round table. This initiative demonstrates how the CMA can respond to crises with coordinated, forward-looking action united with European Union priorities on environmental protection and maritime safety. In doing so, we help bring regional challenges to the first front on the European agenda. In my opinion, the CMA is not just a tool for implementation European Union strategy. It actively forms and unites them, reinforcing their actually, strengthening their resilience and expanding their real impact.
Okay, so big challenges, but also we see the importance of it and work in progress. And perhaps, that's the same for everybody on the panel. Philip, Ireland, we talk a lot about coordination with Europe on lots of key issues. So how do we make sure that we're supporting the implementation of European Union policy on the ground with your individual strategies? For Ireland, Philip.
Thanks, Seamus. As Hryhorii's interventions have made really clear so far, today's world is unrecognizable to the world of 10 or even 5 years ago. And the multilateralist approach that we have all been comfortable with for the last 80 years is under serious threat. And sea basin initiatives, as Kestutis has said, they're kind of a no-brainer. They're multilateralism in an informal way. And the great thing about some of the sea basin strategies, or one of the great things is, as Elsa has identified, they include member states and non-member states alike, because to not have those non-member states such as Norway and the UK in the Greater North Sea Basin Initiative would be a denial of reality, the fact that our seas are shared. And I heard somebody talk yesterday about, it's ocean rather than oceans, and it's all connected. So to think that we can operate in isolation is a complete fallacy. And the pillars of the Atlantic strategy in terms of ports as gateways and hubs for blue economy, blue skills of the future and ocean literacy, marine renewable energy and healthy oceans and resilient coasts, these are transboundary issues, and they are in some form or another captured, I think, in all of the sea basin strategies. So sea basin strategies, to me, are sandboxes, if you like, for the implementation of, on a shared basis, of EU policy, whether it's MSFD or maritime spatial planning. And I think that there are clear opportunities for synergies if we look at things like, for example, the expansion of renewables in the Atlantic and the North Seas and Mediterranean and the Baltic. These need to be done in a coordinated manner that respects the carrying capacity of the different sea basins, because I think that transboundary assessment or analysis is even more important in the context of our ocean than it is on land, because land is fixed, and the arbitrary lines that are drawn on maps on land are easier to kind of stay within, if you like, and they're completely arbitrary at sea. But also in terms of coastal communities and the challenges that they face, like the impact of climate change, they are in the front line, depopulation, economic diversification, and they can benefit from joint solutions that can be developed in our different sea basin strategies, from smart coastal infrastructure to retraining in blue skills. And then probably, for me personally, and you would have heard it from our Taoiseach yesterday, marine biodiversity and climate resilience need integrated monitoring and governance frameworks that stretch across sea basins. So I think the possibilities for synergies are actually almost limitless.
Okay, thanks very much, Philip. So we said France, it's newly established GNSBI, but we're on the pathway. So the question for you, Elsa, really is, to share with us your vision as you launch into this initiative, supporting Europe's development of this sustainable blue economy that we're all striving for. Elsa.
Thank you. I cannot imagine the development of a new blue economy today and for the future without regional cooperation. Because what encompasses today blue economy is our ancestral activities, fishing activities, aquaculture, and now we've got shipping more and more. We've got wind farm. We've got also all recreational activity in the coastal area. Without a kind of cooperation at the regional level in order to cross-border our vertical policy, we cannot create and consolidate a blue economy for Europe and a big ambition, a big European ambition in this way. So maybe we can consider today that the regional initiative can be a test or a forum to try to test the future Ocean Pact, because in our regional initiative we can find all the policy that Europe manage, all the policies that are very important for our coastal territories, and we need to match every maps definitively, because sometimes the same activity wants to focus on the same territories. This is the case with the fishing activities and the wind farm. So we need to speak all the stakeholders around the table, and I think the very important issue for this regional initiative, but also for the Ocean Pact and all the European policy, is to implement and to have concrete actions and political support to diffuse all our ambition for all stakeholders.
Okay, great. And obviously, our third focus area, we want to look towards the future because, and we've started talking about the future, haven't we already? But our third focus area is really looking ahead towards the European Ocean Pact, strengthening the strategies and the synergies, and that's, the title of the session, strengthening the synergies. As Kestutis said, I normally give you a magic wand. I give you a wish if you had one thing that we could just immediately fix. But that sadly is not the case, even though we like to say that it might be possible. But looking ahead, and I want to open this up to the panel, whoever wants to go first. So looking ahead to the future with the Ocean Pact, how do you see your strategy fitting in with that? The pact representing the evolution of your strategies, your initiatives. Who wants to begin on this question? Democracy in action, I give you the choice. Otherwise I come across as bossy choosing the person. Philip, Ireland.
Thanks, Seamus. Yeah, happy to go first. I think the strategy is going to be critical. When we see it from the Commission at UNOC, really looking forward to that. And I think what the Director-General Vicheva mentioned earlier on about the importance of greater integration of our governance of the various maritime and marine policies. That's really, really important. So I think the future is in integration, greater integration. So integrated approaches to thinking across sea basins, integrated approaches to maritime governance, guided by science, I think critically, and by sustainability and solidarity, the three S's, if you like. So I think it's important to use platforms like the Atlantic Strategy, GNSBI, the other sea basin strategies, this European Maritime Day to deepen cooperation, to use them to align our policy and governance tools and to chart a sustainable course for the future for our ocean singular space.
Okay, Philip, thanks very much. Elsa,
I totally agree. I totally share and agree with what you say, Philip. We really need a greater cooperation and integration of all the maritime policies and issue. France has a modest experience on that because we succeed in the creation of a national direction for maritime affairs, fisheries and aquaculture, and we have the national strategy for seas and coastline. It will be translated in English very soon, so we will be able to share it with all of you. And we achieved to implement and to integrate all this policy, and we've got, and that is very important, a big political support and a very important investment and support from the stakeholders, industry, ports, harbor, wind farm companies, etc., and so on. So I totally agree. The need of wider cooperation and integration would be the key for the implementation in the future of the European Ocean Pact, I guess.
Anything concrete already on that question, Elsa? If we look at the cooperation between the sea strategies, do we already see some pathways, some ideas, and how we can do that? Maybe some examples?
Yes, it's okay, yeah. I think maybe it would be interesting to focus about the two main pillars in our future challenges, the energy and green energy, and we know that we need spaces on sea for this green energy, and the protection of biodiversity. And sometimes, because of the actual technology for the green energy and wind farm energy, we can find and focus and identify very interesting spaces. But in these spaces, we've got stakes about biodiversity, about habitats, about species, and I think in this challenges to combine this both objective, we can share our experience, our strategy for the different region.
And I suppose the pressure is on to make sure that this happens fast. we have the pact, and then we have the work going on behind. Who wants to come in here? Hryhorii, the European Ocean Pact. How does that fit in with your strategy? Cooperation as well with the other sea basins?
So, looking ahead, the CMA is ready to play a crucial role in advancing the European Ocean Pact, especially in a region as a geopolitical sensitive as the Black Sea now. Maritime security will be at the first front. The ongoing war of Russian aggression against Ukraine made visible the tragic link between environmental safety and geopolitical stability in the region. Pollution from military activities, stopping navigation, and seas mines reality is a crucial risk for marine ecosystem and human existence now. This work must become systematic, integrated into maritime planning on looking and environmental monitoring across this basin and other basins. At the same time, we will support our commitment to ecosystem-based management and sustainable maritime practices. As we remember in the CMA's report 2 years ago, we have already taken steps such as disposal marine waste and promotion nature-based solution. In my hand is one of millions of fragments of fuel oil from the Black Sea. You please.
And it's very black.
From that famous flagship of the Russian military fleet, the cruiser Moscow, perhaps. Maybe from a Russian duty plane shot down over the Black Sea by our automotive boats. All this must be disposed of Black Sea. To increase blue economic competitiveness, we will continue promotion clean tech, ocean innovation, smart investment in areas like renewable marine energy, blue technology, and smart ports. This will be closely tied to improving maritime spatial planning and access to European Union level funding. We will also focus on blue skills and oceanal literacy, ensuring coastal communities and youth an opportunity to participate in this transition. But most importantly, the role of inter-sea basin cooperation will be central in the near future. Through coordinating actions, shared data system, or synchronized policy initiatives, working together across sea basin, in this only way we'll get the Ocean Pact's goals. The Ocean Pact calls for united action, and our big team from the Black Sea region through the CMA stands ready to important contribute.
Okay, Hryhorii, when somebody gives me a tube like this, I'm very tempted to open it up because there's a top on it, but I don't think I'm going to open this just for the question of safety. Thanks very much. Pedro, on the same question, so your thoughts on this when it comes to the Ocean Pact?
We saw the WestMED initiative well positioned to become an operational arm of the new European Ocean Pact. Its governance model, technical groups and strong cooperation between European Union and Southern Mediterranean countries make it a natural platform to translate the Pact's ambition into action. Portugal, through its co-presidency, has actively contributed to shaping a pact that promotes both sustainable national maritime governance and the coordination development of strategic blue sectors across Europe. We see the initiative evolving to support the pact by aligning with the key EU strategies such as the Integrated Maritime Policy, the Green Deal and the EU Biodiversity Strategy, supporting offshore renewable energy, green shipping, marine technologies and sustainable aquaculture, but also promoting scientific research and ocean knowledge, and ensuring that the pact respects the subsidiarity principle, safeguarding member states' maritime competencies. We think that the cooperation among sea basin strategies will be essential to the success of the European Ocean Pact. Each basin brings a unique challenge and strengths, but all of them share a common vision: healthy, productive and resilient ocean. By fostering joint political dialogue, cross-basin technical collaboration and shared innovation platforms, we can accelerate the implementation of the Pact's priorities. And we think that the experience of the WestMED initiative, working closely with other basins, mainly Atlantic Strategy, but others too, shows that synergies multiply the impact. To resume, Portugal remains fully committed to strengthening these synergies and contributing to a more integrated and effective European maritime governance.
Okay, Pedro, thanks very much. Listen, we have about 7 or 8 minutes left, and Kestutis, we talked about the magic wand. I want to finish just with everybody just to give their main priority. If you had the magic wand and you could look for a solution on this particular topic, so with the Ocean Pact coming up, the synergies between the sea basins, we've all got different perspectives, but top of your list, if you were able to immediately have a solution when you go back to your teams after listening to all of the discussions here in Cork, what would be top of your list when you're talking to your team? Maybe we can begin with France. Elsa.
I guess I will ask to have a very huge and transversal and integrated map, a kind of magic map in which we can input all of our policies, all our conclusion from national debate, regional debate that we can have with all the stakeholders, in order to give to the public and to all citizens also, because the understanding character of our mapping action and integration policy, it's very important to share it with all the countries and all the citizens, because as we know, sea is the affair of everybody, of all of us. So I think a tool, a very intelligent tool, shared would be very benefit for all of us.
And I can actually visualize that, Elsa. It's nice to have concrete.
Me too. I've got it in my head.
It's in the brain. So the magical map, and we can actually see it, and it's good to have something concrete. Philip, let's come to you on this question from Ireland. What's your magic wand solution that you would have an answer to straight away if you had the wish?
Okay, so can I have two?
Oh, no, just one. Just one.
Okay, well, I've already mentioned one, which is real and quite practical. The other is maybe more of a reach, but to find a way to be able to explain the benefits of the sea basin approach and to explain the tangible benefits of marine planning and the tangible benefits of MSFD to citizens and to stakeholders, because I think we all understand that the work that we're doing can contribute to benefits under all of those different headings, but to be able to find a magic way of communicating what is highly complex, highly complicated policy and legislation to members of the public and individual stakeholders so that they can see that actually, yeah, we are working on your behalf rather than just trying to complicate things.
Something very visual, the magical map. We also had this, something very visual in front of us to make a point. Good, so communication, literacy, education, great. Pedro, your solution, if you could have it, top of your list.
In our opinion, cooperation is the key word of this kind of initiatives, and with more collaboration between basins, we can have accelerated implementation of sustainable solutions, which direct impact on coastal communities, a key thing, we think, the blue energy transition and skills development. Our experience in the WestMED Co-Presidency shows that cooperation between all the sea basin strategies is essential to achieving the goals of the future European Ocean Pact, and we are fully committed to continuing to build bridges between Mediterranean, Atlantic and all other sea basins.
Okay, Pedro, thanks very much. And the final word, before we get some concluding remarks from Kestutis as well, on what we've heard, lots of different perspectives. Hryhorii from Ukraine, so if you had a magic wand on this question about, the synergies between the sea basins as we look forward to the Ocean Pact.
So maybe I say as Ukrainian, but not say as representative of other country from Black Sea region. I say about one way. Ukraine may be one of country of European Union near time. Maybe 2030 is the end of this time, must be. And if we have peace in Ukraine, we have a good future to European Union community. And as we say in Ukraine at the end, Slava Ukraini.
Thank you very much. Round of applause for our panelists. So thank you very much to all of our panelists, and we're going to get some concluding remarks now. So thank you very much. I don't know if you wanted to stay on the stage for some concluding remarks from Kestutis. Perhaps we can. And yes, what did you make of that, Kestutis? Some concluding remarks. Thank you very much.
It's impossible to summarize it in short, but it was a rich discussion. And to me, it confirms that if we didn't have, if we would not have sea basin strategies, we would have to invent them again, because they are pretty simple, straightforward ways of cooperating on a very limited list of topics that really matter to the countries that cooperate upon them. And that's, I think, the key of their success. And I'm not even quite sure that they need any magic wands there. They just need to get on with their own business and make sure that they really deliver on the benefits to the citizens that Philip was mentioning. There are, of course, things that we'd like the strategies to be used indeed for the implementation of the Ocean Pact, because the Ocean Pact cannot stay a strategy written simply on paper and done simply in theory. It's a place-based policy-making approach that needs to be brought to real life, and that real life really happens in our seas, on our shores, and especially with our coastal communities. And that's one of the reasons why in the Pact we'll try to also set out the path for how we want to treat and improve the life of the coastal communities who are concentrated on our coasts more and more than ever. As we heard yesterday, that 40% of our population lives within the 50 kilometers within the coast. And in fact, when you take Ireland, it's so much more than that. And that just is a reality that requires that kind of cooperation that Pedro Goncalves was referring to, that there is no other way how we can do that. There are very interesting concepts and approaches that are being tested. Again, Philip was mentioning that concept of a sandbox. That's exactly how we want to approach the implementation of the Pact, because each sea basin has its own specificities. They're very unique in their own way, and there are commonalities, of course, them. But we'd like to test some of the ideas. And what the North Sea Basin Strategy, the emerging one, is really doing is testing in a new way the maritime special planning, which is really absolutely key instrument for us to ensure that we use a very congested space, which is sold over so many times already by now, and it will be even more when we roll out the renewable energies and lay cables and do all the other kinds of activities in a very, very tiny space. How will you do that in a smart way? And the only way you can do this if you cooperate with your neighbors or with the countries in the vicinity. So for me, really the approach here is this. I can probably summarize it in some abbreviations. There is an approach of 3 C's, command, control, comply, And that's what we apply, in fact, to our hardcore policies like the fisheries, and there's no other way that you can do it. But for the sea basin strategies, 3 I's. That's integrate, innovate, invest. For me, that's really the approach you need to adopt for the sea basin strategies for them to keep delivering on these benefits that's there. And just the last message. Again, the cooperation is within the DNA of Europeans. We've learned it through the history, and that's the only way how we can solve the issues, solve the big problems, only by talking to each other, even in the most difficult circumstances. Sea basin strategies aren't controversial. They have light governance structures, if any, for that matter, and they address real issues, real matters. And since we know how to cooperate, and the rest of the world is pretty jealous about how we do that, I think we can also be showing how you can do that to the rest of the world. But of course, sharing that experience among ourselves. So for me, really, that's one of the bright futures of the ocean governance, and I really, really hope that everybody else will join up that approach. Thank you.
Great. Kestutis, thank you very much. And I'm going to make the most of the fact we have the 4 different sea basins on the stage for a family photograph. If you are able to come forward, and feel free to take some selfie photographs on your phones as well, if your sea basins are represented here. Yeah, possibly without the badge. Excuse me, without the badges. You can just leave it here. So another round of applause for these panelists. Thank you very much. And what we'd like to do in just a moment is cross to Fanny, who is just finishing off her graphical recording. We won't forget the graphic recording. What did she make of the session? And then it will be lunchtime. So a well-deserved break just for an hour today until 1:30 to 1:30. A great lunch waiting for us, and then we have workshops, 4 parallel workshops as well. Fanny's the graphical recording from Fanny. Thank you very much. The panelists, do you recognize yourselves? Do you see some key phrases? Elsa, do you recognize yourself there on the screen? The initiatives have made significant progress. We recently welcomed a new initiative in the Greater North Sea Basin. So great. WestMED Hackathon, a great success, Pedro. Great. And Ukraine, significant progress despite the challenges posed by the Russian war. So great. Thank you very much. Have a great lunch. Bon appétit. Have a great lunch.